Hello, today I just want to show you this look. It's inspired by Lady Gaga at the Golden Globes 2016. For me, she really encapsulated that old Hollywood glamour, but with a little modern twist. So I thought I'd show you my take on that. I hope you're enjoying my Makeup Masters app if you're watching that from there. Let me know if there's anything else you want to see. I'll include a full list of the products and try and add a few more reviews in there. But let's get on with the makeup. I'm prepping the skin with MAC Lightful Marine Bright Softening Lotion. This just helps get all the little grime and dead skin off, and it also makes your skin smoother for foundation application. I'm going to use a little bit of this Avene Anti-Redness Moisturiser. Well, it's more like a targeted treatment. Just going to try and use it on those really red patches especially. My little friends that have come to visit around my chin. For foundation I'm using L'Oreal True Match, and I'm using it with this Morphe's G31 brush just to get a bit more coverage and then polish it out in certain areas so it doesn't look too heavy, but I keep it quite flawless. Try and cover my spots. Lady Gaga's skin's quite flawless, but it doesn't look cakey, so I still want to leave a certain level of freshness to the skin. So to brighten around the eyes, I'm using a bit of the LA Girl Pro HD concealer. I'm trying to use all really affordable brands where I can. My fingers applying MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. The eyeshadow palette I'm using is the Iconic Pro Salvation palette from Makeup Revolution. Bit of a mouthful. Excuse the fact it's broken, my daughter knocked it off the table the other day. But as you can see, I quite like using it for day-to-day makeup. I don't use it in my kit so much, but for use on myself, especially that colour there, it's just a great sort of neutral one for the eyes. I'm going to start off with that flesh tone highlight. The eyeshadows are quite matte on her eyes and really neutral. I'm going to start off by going in with that neutral colour and the Zoeva 228 brush, which is nice and fluffy because it barely looks like she's got any eyeshadow on. So if you're using a fluffy brush, you can just really feather on the shade without going over the top. I just want to get a little bit more of a hollowed crease. Now for this Lady Gaga feline eye, it's basically like a fluid liner but blended out a bit. So I'm just using a little bit of a gel base liner. This is the Rimmel one. Sort of connects from this bottom lash line. And then blend out that line before it sets too much. Just mainly keeping it a bit sharper underneath, but especially just there, it's definitely softened. And to help blend and really emphasise that softened liner edge, I'm just going back with that black from the palette, but try not to go too high with it. It's mainly over the top of the black liner. And then again going back with that sort of neutral colour, neutral matte shade. And And then I'm just going to sharpen the line a little bit with this flat edge definer. I'm back with a little bit more of that liner. If your eyes are a bit more similar shape to Lady Gaga, you could sort of use a little less eyeshadow than I have, but where mine are quite hooded, I need to push that area back to create a bit more of that contour. Before I do any more underneath the eye, I'm just going to put on a little bit more concealer. This is this MAC Studio Finish one because it's nice and full coverage. Lady Gaga seems to have white in the waterline. You can use white, or if you want a bit softer you could use a flesh tone, but for this I'm going to use MAC Fascinating Pencil. That does tend to transfer down onto your bottom lashes a little bit, so you will need to go back with a little bit of black liner just to sort of take that off there. Now going in with that same sort of gel liner underneath, using the same principle, drawing it and then smudging it in a little bit. The same mid-tone just to soften it down a little bit. I'm using the Benefit Hello Flawless, so I know this is a foundation, but I really want to cover my skin as much as possible. I'm using it very sparingly though. For the contour, I'm trying to keep it affordable, so I'm going to go for this Collection contour kit. I haven't actually used it yet, so we'll see how it turns out. Lady Gaga doesn't have much blusher or anything, it's mainly just about the contour. This one is a little bit too dark for me, so I'm going to try and using it carefully with a nice soft brush. Then I'm going to try out the highlighter on this. Oh, it's quite a cool tone. Might be a little bit too, do you see how it might be a little bit too silvery for this look? Let's just take it down with a little bit of that Hello Flawless powder quickly, and then I'm going to go in with a trusty Mary Lou Manamizer just to warm it up a little bit. She didn't have tons of highlight on, but hey ho. For the brows, I'm using Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow in Taupe. So it's an ashy blonde. Looks like she sort of lifted the brows, so I've really combed them into place, combed them up, and then tried to create as much sort of fullness. Her makeup artist has obviously filled them out a bit higher to really pull that arch of the brow up. This is your Addict It Lash. MAC Clear Brow Gel. The lashes I'm going to use are these Moda Studio Professional ones. They're just called D Wispy, which is obviously meant to be similar to the Ardell Demi Wispy, but they are just slightly more feathery at the ends, so I thought it might be a bit more similar to Lady Gaga's lashes. Trimmed quite a few off the edge just so it's more comfortable, and then I'm going to overlap them to create that winged look. I'm using a fine layer of the Duo Glue. To get Lady Gaga's little beauty mark, I'm just going in with the Maybelline Master Precise eyeliner. It's going to be the same one that I use here just to cover the root of my false lashes. And then I'm just going to use that mid-tone eyeshadow from the Makeup Revolution palette just to soften it down a little bit, soften the line of the edges, make it look a little bit more brown rather than black. Now, it doesn't look like Lady Gaga has lip liner or a strong lipstick on, so I'm just using Crystal Baby from Estee Lauder. This is a nice creamy consistency and quite a sort of neutral, healthy pink. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if there's anything you want to see next time, and looking forward to seeing you very soon. Bye!